Making these mistakes will determine whether you have a great dog or a bad dog. This tip I'm about to give you is something that the best dog trainers and handlers in the world know, but so many, especially new owners, don't understand and make this mistake on every single walk they go on with their dogs. If you want your walk to be as beautiful as this, you have to stop letting your dog make decisions when you're out on a walk. Yes, that does mean that they can't stop and sniff whenever they want. Yes, that means that they can't react and bark and lunge towards people, vehicles and traffic when they want. If you instill that rule, that when we're moving forward together, you follow me in all situations, you never make decisions for yourself, you will have a dream dog on the end of the lead. Then when you get to where you're going, maybe to a private field, somewhere safe, we can let them off the lead or switch them out to a long line, then they can run, be a dog and have all the fun in the world. But if you want to walk that looks like this, stop letting your dog make its own decisions. 9 times out of 10, if your dog is doing something wrong, you've accidentally rewarded and reinforced that behavior. Now I know that sounds counterintuitive and you'd never do that on purpose, but that is the reality. New owners make the mistake of accidentally reinforcing bad behaviours all the time. Let's take a look at an obvious example. Dog sees another dog, starts lunging and barking towards the other dog. You go down and say, it's okay, it's just another dog, it's okay, you don't have to worry. You think you're reassuring the dog. What you're actually doing is reinforcing the dog, and you're going to see that behaviour happen more frequently in the future. The same thing happens when somebody comes to the door and they start barking at the door when the doorbell goes off. It's okay, boo-boo, it's just mummy back from work. You're not reassuring the dog, you're reinforcing the dog. Stop accidentally rewarding your dog for bad behaviours and reward them for good behaviours instead. Now, this mistake that dog owners and many dog trainers for that fact make all the time might be a little bit of a difficult one for you to listen to, but I really want you to have success, so we're going to talk about it, and that is you comparing yourself to other people on Instagram in particular. Yes, Instagram can be amazing. Yes, we can share the successes we have with our dogs, but let me let you into a little secret that you should know already. Instagram is the best of the best moments and people cut all the bad moments. So if you're comparing your dog, your progress, your success to people you're seeing on Instagram, that is not a true representation of what they're dealing with. I see this every single day. Clients that come to me with terrible dogs, you go on their Instagram and everything looks amazing. Have realistic expectations of your dog, be happy with the progress you're making with your dog, and stop comparing your dog to the fake side of other people's dogs through social media. A huge mistake, especially first-time owners make, is not understanding the different pieces of equipment and not knowing when to use different things with your dog. Now I'm going to hand you over to my good friend Liam, who is going to give you the single best demonstration of this so that it can really drive that message home, because it's so incredibly important.
Tension on a lead is one of the biggest contributing factors to basically making your reactive dog or your dog that pulls on a lead a million times worse. Okay, now I have my dog Axel here and we're going to demonstrate this. So one line I have attached to his prong collar, and then one line I have attached to his harness that he's wearing all around here on a Y shape. Axel loves his ball. Essentially, this might be your dog at home, this might be a dog across the other side of the road. Your dog wants to go and see that dog or that ball. Axel does. Now, because there's no tension and he's understanding the prong collar because I've taught him, there's no massive fixation, there's no big eruption of pressure. Okay, and what happens when people start to add tension onto their dog, okay, and they're going, good boy, good boy, good boy, it's okay, say hello, be friendly, you end up with that type of dog. Okay, if I then bring the opposite way and hold his prong collar, far less. Okay, he's not pulling me, he's not going forward. It's having loads of tension, especially on the wrong equipment, makes your behavior a million times worse. Okay, I can walk my dog towards the ball and he's far less interested. If I try and walk him away from this on a harness, it's near impossible, and I start going towards it, getting dragged. Tension on a lead, one of the biggest factors that I see with a lot of my clients in big reactivity. Okay, the dog's not paying attention. There's still desire to go for that. That's where the training part comes in. But the handling part, if I try and walk him past on this, I've got no chance. If that's dog on dog, that's a bad situation.
And if you think that was good, Liam's going to give us another mistake later on in the video, so make sure you stick around for that one. Let me make this next tip abundantly clear. Stop thinking that your dog has to like all other dogs. You don't like all other people. Your dog shouldn't like all other dogs. Your dog doesn't have to like any dogs. Now, what they do need to be is neutral around them and display the behaviours that we need from them to keep them and other people safe, but stop forcing dogs that don't like other dogs into situations where they have to make bad decisions. Dog parks are the worst thing for this, and it's why I think nobody should ever go to dog parks. If you do have a very sociable dog, find structured places where you can meet other well-sociable dogs. But if your dog isn't that way, that's fine as well. Honour your dog, understand your dog, and set your dog up for success. A huge mistake that people make with their dogs is simply not having realistic expectations of their breed. But what that means is that they then have unrealistic expectations of their dog. If you get a German Shepherd, do not be surprised if they want to bark at things. If you get a Labrador or a Golden Retriever, do not be surprised if they want to run and chase after things and bring them back to you. If you have a Spaniel, do not be surprised if you lose it in every hedgerow that you walk by. You must understand the history of your breed and how that impacts the breed that you live with today, so that you can have realistic expectations of your dog and set both you and them up for success. Now, another huge mistake that people make with their dogs is not understanding their dog's drives. Now, we could go into some fancy trainer lingo about this, but it's essentially what really motivates your dog. What are they driven by? Is it guarding? Is it protection? Is it retrieval? Is it hunting? If we understand what drives them, we can either use it to our advantage or understand that that might be an area where they really struggle to pay attention to us. So we're going to have to do lots of work in those scenarios and situations to set them up for success, not failure. Now, for this next cardinal sin of dog ownership, I'm going to hand you back over to my good friend Liam to explain it in more detail.
I have two very, very different dogs. I have Frank, he's obviously a Doberman. I have Axel up here, who is a mix of a Shepherd, a Dutch Herder and a Belgian Malinois. He is obviously a very, very lovely looking dog and a very handsome dog. And this is what a lot of people base on what they want from their dog. They go, I like the look of this dog, I like the look of that dog, vice versa. But there is big, big caveats to this. It is like buying a car based on just how it looks. There's always going to be something that doesn't fit your lifestyle, doesn't fit your family, doesn't fit your work, maybe doesn't even fit you as a handler and owner of the dog. Now, let's say Axel is an absolute lunatic 99% of the time, and to get him to even just stay up here and be still up here takes a hideous amount of training. Both these dogs are very, very serious dogs. But if you are looking at this dog thinking, he looks lovely, I want one of them, when you meet them and you work with them and you learn about them, you'll soon quick realise that looks are not the most important thing in the world.
A tired dog truly is a happier dog, and a tired dog truly is a better behaved dog. And a mistake that so many people make with their dogs is not understanding what their exercise requirements are and then not fulfilling them. You have to know the kind of dog that you have, and you have to make sure you fulfill their energy outputs. Now, it's clear I'm no super athlete, but even I can provide the amount of exercise needed for high drive working dogs. You just have to be creative. Walking is a great start, but a game of fetch is going to be your best friend. Get your dog treadmill trained and let that do the majority of the hard work for you. Get them involved in sports like agility or flyball. Anything that can tire your dog out physically and mentally whilst working on your relationship with them will set you and them up for success. A huge mistake that I see so many owners make, especially first-time owners, is leaving their dog's food on the floor for them to have free access to whenever they want. It is a monumental mistake, and you are missing out on huge opportunities for massive amounts of success with your dogs. Of course, they can eat the same amount of food throughout the day. We're never going to starve our dogs, but make them work for it. Use their normal rations as part of your daily obedience training, and then whatever's left at the end of the day, you can put in a bowl. You can ask them to sit, put the food on the floor, but they don't have access to it until they're looking up to you for guidance and direction, and you tell them they can have it. Do that every single day, and I guarantee you will have a relationship with your dog where they look up to you as their loving leader.